Suppose you've got a very simple C++ program where you create a thread. At the end of the main program, you forget to call either .join or .detach. This is going to crash your program. As we know, a destructor gets called as this variable is going out of scope, and it goes out of scope at the end of main. Now, the question that I have is, why is this the default behavior? Why are we deciding to terminate the program if the thread has not been joined or detached? If you're not familiar, join basically says wait until the thread is completed, and detach basically says I don't care what happens to the thread, just run it whenever you're free. Don't worry about whether or not it's completed after this main is done. The committee had to choose between one or the other option, right? They had to say, well, we either have to join the thread by default in the destructor, or we have to detach it. But both of them presented themselves with some problems. So let's go over what those problems are. Why is this destructor crashing the program? If we look at the code inside of the destructor, all it's doing is checking if the thread is null. If the thread is null, then you're safe. But if the thread is not null, the terminate is what's going to crash your program. And if you're wondering what does thread is null check, it actually just checks if the thread ID is equal 0. So basically, it's just saying if it's not been cleared out, then terminate the program. Now, what might you think is the problem with automatically joining something? So I've got this slow function here. It's just waiting for 2 seconds and then it's printing that it's completed. Just imagine that that's, maybe much slower. Maybe it takes 5 minutes. Maybe it takes 10 minutes. Basically, the committee was arguing that suppose you had forced to auto join, then the program may stall for a really long time. It might be behavior that the person writing C++ is not expecting because it's waiting for let's just say 10 minutes or 20 minutes to complete because it's just a really slow function. So that's the reason why they said, well, doing some sort of automatic join instead of just terminating could be a problem because the program could wait a really long time. It could just not finish, and that might not be what somebody expects. We don't want to automatically join because the program could wait a long time. But why don't we just tell the destructor to detach automatically and that will work, right? Well, that posed another problem. If the C++ committee decided to automatically detach the program, then the program might have some sort of undefined behavior. Take a look at this example. You've got an int variable x and you want to just run this function called add5, and it's taking in a reference to the variable x. You're trying to update the value by reference. Again, this is something that could take some time. And by doing this, you might be trying to access this variable x that has already been destroyed. You're using a reference to a variable that's already destroyed. That would be a use after free because the x variable would be out of scope by that point, and that would essentially be undefined behavior. Given that both of these approaches had some downsides, the committee decided, all right, so if the thread is still joinable right as it goes out of scope, then they're just going to crash the program. So one thing I do want to point out is that I keep saying that this is checking whether or not the thread is joinable, but this function is called libThreadIsNull. Why do I keep saying thread destructor is checking if it's joinable or not? Well, that's because if you look at whatever the code is inside of the joinable function, it's the same code. All that aside, C++20 did introduce jthread. Jthread would automatically join if it was joinable in the destructor. Right before this thread goes out of scope, it's going to automatically join and then destruct itself the correct way. Of course, the reason for this was to just prevent accidental crashes. In general, people just assumed that the .join should work in most cases. Most people just use .join, and the committee decided, all right, let's just introduce jthread, which is going to automatically join. That way, people don't have to worry about calling .join somewhere else, or if you had an issue where if you're returning early, you might have to call .join properly, and basically that just created a bunch of annoying issues for a lot of people where the program could crash because you forgot to call .join for some random reason, and I think that's one of the reasons why they introduced jthread. Let's look at how jthread is implemented. So the code is a little bit dimmer because I'm on C++ 17 right now, and this code only runs if you're in C++ 20. So that's why all this code is kind of in a dimmer color, because VS Code is saying this code is not going to run for you, but technically it is if you're on C++ 20. So anyway, let's go down and take a look at what the destructor does. If the jthread is still joinable, it's going to join it and then return. So basically, instead of terminating the program, using jthread is automatically going to to join it. And yeah, I guess this was the behavior that most people actually prefer. So that's why they decided to introduce jthread. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about in this video. If you've made it this far, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more random C++ deep dives just like this. And if you want to sponsor the channel, just send me an email. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.